Hello and welcome here. For the most of House of the Dragon, Mysaria has been lurking in the shadows, but we're now beginning to learn more about her. She was revealed in episode 9 to be the spymaster known as the White Worm, demonstrating her far more might than the brothel worker we initially encountered in the first episode. Mysaria, who has a pallid complexion and a bloated figure as she ages, is also known as Lady Mysaria, the White Worm in George R.R. Martin's novels. The nickname seems to have served more as a code name to conceal her identity at House of the Dragon. The identity was first mentioned on screen in episode 4, when Otto Hightower discovered through a spy that Rhaenyra and Daemon were both present at the brothel. A soldier delivered the boy who had observed the pair and informed him that a messenger delivers message from White Worm. The youngster is seen giving Mysaria some cash in the next scene, perhaps her cut for providing sensitive information to the hand of the king. It is hinted that she has known Otto Hightower for a very long time. He claims that his sources yet has never led me wrong when he divulges the rumor to King Viserys, but it's only in episode 9 that he really encounters her. When Mysaria takes a seat across from him, he remarks, "I take it you yourself are the mysterious White Worm." Mysaria uses a network of spies to gather information from all throughout the realm, or at least King's Landing, much like Lord Varys did on Game of Thrones with his little birds. One of them is Talia, the lady-in-waiting of Queen Alicent, who has been gathering information for the White Worm inside the Red Keep. Lord Larys admits that there are more people like her in the castle, though he does not specify how many. These spies' intelligence can be helpful to individuals in positions of authority. In the most recent episode, the White Worm assists the Greens in locating the lost Aegon Targaryen so that he can be proclaimed king and even claims credit for doing so. However, she also helps the Black side in the Civil War. Mysaria is Rhaenyra Targaryen's mistress of whisperers and spy in the novels. She is, for instance, involved in the Black's plans to commission Blood and Cheese to carry out a terrible murder in the Red Keep. And beyond that, she keeps helping Rhaenyra. All indications point to Mysaria's reappearance in later seasons, although her future is uncertain for now. In episode 9, when Queen Alicent learns that there are spies in the Red Keep, including her own lady-in-waiting, her home is set on fire. But Mysaria doesn't die on screen, thus it's possible that she escaped the attack and lived. She could have plotted her escape if she had known about the arson intentions in advance thanks to her experience in espionage. This could also be what convinces her to support the Black community. Lee, one of Esso's free cities, is where Mysaria is from. She is first seen working as a sex worker in a King's Landing brothel in House of the Dragon, where Daemon Targaryen later takes her as his girlfriend. In order to annoy King Viserys after selecting Rhaenyra as his successor, he sends her to Dragonstone where he falsely claims she is pregnant and is engaged to be his second wife. The plan doesn't sit well with Mysaria. In episode 4, when she briefly reappears, she claims to have left the skin trade behind. Although Mysaria's origin is mostly unknown throughout the series, she has made references to a trying past and a life in servitude. She says to Daemon in episode 2, "I have been sold as property more times than I want to remember, starting in a nation I can no longer remember." She may support the small folk because of this aspect of her history. She informs the Hand of the King, "There is no power but what the people allow you to take." She also asks Otto for the location of Prince Aegon in exchange for a stop to the cruel usage of youngsters in Flea Bottom. It's a kind action, but it's also advantageous for her, in case she decides to employ them as spies. Discussions on Mysaria's accent have been frequent throughout the series, especially after episode 9, when she received more speaking lines. Although there are elements of French, viewers have characterized it as Jamaican or Caribbean, which audibly differs from the British accents used by nearly all of the other characters on the show. It's a strange choice, and even if Mizuno's accent isn't as unpleasant or clownish as Chet Hanks's patois, it's still enough to make one wonder. Mizuno is Japanese, British, and Argentinian. Questions increase in response to attempts to explain the accent. Mysaria may be from Lee, however Decider notes that other Lysine characters from Game of Thrones, including as Varys and Daenerys' handmaiden Doria, do not speak with a Lysine accent. Mysaria could have a distinct accent since she was born 200 years earlier, when the island's vernacular was different. The Targaryens, who also have British accents, are supposed to speak a kind of High Valyrian, as are the residents of Lee. Given that Lee sits on a tropical, windy island, Martin himself has called the Lysine language a melodious, flowing, liquid tongue. Would the House of the Dragon team's interpretation of that description be Mysaria's accent? Lysine's accent, according to Martin, has no direct relation to any real-world dialects, so perhaps it is just a blend of many accents after all. Viewers are still perplexed since neither HBO nor the Dragon team have addressed the dialect or whether it would alter in subsequent seasons. It was thrilled to see Mizuno in this series and continue to be interested in what she will accomplish next. She is a really gifted actor in her own right, which is in addition to the fact that diversity casting is greatly needed in the whitewashed Game of Thrones setting. In Ex Machina, she mesmerized me as Kyoko. In Crazy Rich Asians, I yearned to be her closest friend, and in Devs, she kept me on the edge of my seat. She emanates the mystery and intrigue necessary for the part of Mysaria, yet it would be unfortunate if such a skilled actor were overshadowed by a strange language choice.